Well, this is the part of the service that I like to call learning together, because I think that's what we do with this piece. It's the time when we usually invite all the children to rush to the front, hundreds of them. And that would work really great today if there were some here. And there's not, which is fine because, we're learning together. That's the point of calling it that. We used to call it things like Time for the Children, story time. Some people still do, I think, because it is the time when we have children at the front. Sometimes we just tell them a story, which is okay. But, for me, the best part of that is the conversation. They say really wise things. They say some interesting things sometimes, but they say really wise things always. And I think that's why it's so important to remember that we're learning together, that it's not just time for children, it's time for everyone, because we can all... You remember, of course, that Jesus said, let the children come, because that's how we need to come to God, right? And so that interaction part is really important, I think. And so we can still do that today, of course, because, by the way, I just want to say a word of welcome to people from Killam and Daysland who are joining us today, and the people in Ponoka, of course, who are joining our live stream today. And I know that if there are any children there, of course, you can use your phone, you can text me, you could comment on our live stream. Feel free. We're not exactly there yet, are we? We're almost there. We could be almost there. We're almost there. But that's the thing about how we share our story, which is why calling this anything from story time to learning together is really great, is because it's about how we tell our story. And it's that conversation, that interaction with the kids that helped us produce the big instruction book for loving everyone. This is, the first time I pulled this out, I think it was at a summer program, one of the kids' summer programs. The first time I pulled it out, and I said, look, it's the big instruction book for loving everyone. That's what Bible stands for, the big instruction book for loving everyone. And of course, they were all like, no, you made that up. Look, you just taped stuff on the front of a book and then you printed that, and it's just like, no, yes, it is. That's the thing about the stories in the Bible, isn't it? Originally they were just told, and then somebody finally wrote them down, and then we had to kind of translate them and share them in all sorts of different ways and things. Because if you can't connect with the story, how do you understand the point? That was always my feeling about why it needs to be the big instruction book for loving everyone. First of all, the stories that are in it, there are stories in it. I wrote some story versions of the Bible story that I thought we could really connect with, and whether that's how Adam and Eve learned to choose, and that's how God managed to get us to be managers of this great earth and things, or whether it's, did you know that story about David and Goliath and how he defeated Goliath by using a slingshot to throw a turnip at his head because he was a vegetarian? Did you know that story? Some of them are funny, some of them are not. Some of them are about, that story about how Jesus' friend Lazarus died and everyone was crying, and he had to tell the disciples how to help take care of people who are sad and grieving. And don't forget to bring Kleenex. There's I think, ways to tell the story that is always true to telling the story that can help us better connect with the story. And the most important part of that is it's a big instruction book for loving everyone. Is that the lens through which we understand the story, through which we see the story, is love. And that's where conversations with kids are really great. Sorry, just checking my phone to see if oh, wait. I got a text. Just a second, this is exciting. That's from an adult. Thanks, Neil. But that's okay too. It's a bunch of emojis, like Santa Claus and sunglasses and things. It's the thing is, how we share the story is really important. And so we need to know what's at the heart of the story. And for followers of Jesus, what's always at the heart of the story is love. That's whatever point you're trying to make with the story, love is the key component of that story. Hence the big instruction book for loving everyone. That comes from sharing the story and being able to tell it as well as hear it, to being able to connect with it. Which is why I think the learning together time is really valuable. And so in future, we'll be inviting all of the adults to come and sit on the floor. We could take the pews out. That would be good. We'll just take the pews out and you can sit on the floor. Yeah. That's not going over well, is it? Okay. We'll have a few chairs. Point is, it's about telling the story because the story is how we share that, how we share God. It's how we share love with each other. You know this is a really great segue to, you know what's coming. We're going to have to sing Jesus Loves Me now. We have to. Because the story is about love.